Welcome to Cockpits and Cocktails, the lively aviation podcast, where we talk about all things aviation and aerospace. So please grab a cocktail, let's chill out and talk about some aviation. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Cockpits and Cocktails. This is Natalie, Fly Girl Kelly, and I am here with one of the co-hosts, Cooper the pilot. Hi, Cooper.
Hello. So
how are
happy
you?
to be here. Doing great. You know, I've spent some time disconnecting and reconnecting.
Yeah.
You know, social media can take up some time. And so I've spent some time in the wilderness and then coming back.
Well, I've been kind of doing the same thing. I think you've been camping and I've been camping. It's cool. It's, you know, people say, well, are you not, because we got like a fifth wheel, and they're like, are you not flying much anymore? It's like, I like to any kind of travel.
Exactly. I know. I get the same thing.
Yeah. It's like, no, I'm not
Any
giving that
adventure.
up.
Adventure is adventure.
Right. I know that. Well, first of all, where's some of your favorite places that you've been to recently? What kind of things do you like to do?
I have to say, you know, I usually love Yosemite, but I recommend going more in the spring or winter. I didn't realize how many mosquitoes are up there.
Oh, yeah. I've been to Yosemite.
Yeah, it was.
Gorgeous.
I mean, it was fun, and it's all the waterfalls are going. But my biggest moment was at Mount Whitney 2 weeks ago, and that was my first high point, as I guess I learned that terminology,
Yeah. Oh.
and that was quite an excursion. A little bit
so
more.
What was that? Pretty tough?
You know, it wasn't tough as far as the I don't know if you've been there, but the path. So there is a trail, but and they've done a lot of work to it that I've heard, considering several years ago. But it's difficult because it's all an incline, and there are very few flat places to rest, except for like trail campground where you can camp overnight to do the rest of the hike. But there's a wall. And that's the last couple of miles of the hike, and that was pretty intense. And then, you know, you're almost there, but mentally, that's where I'm not kidding. That's where a lot of people turned around, and I would ask them, "Did you make it?" And they said, "No, we gave up."
Oh.
And yeah, so that wall really is a physical wall and a mental wall. It's very challenging to keep going at that point, but I did make it, and it was a beautiful view. But I was very happy to go as quickly as possible down. But funny enough, usually the trail down can be pretty quick and easy, but because some of the steps are 3 to 4 feet drops, it goes a lot slower. But it was a good, challenging experience. I loved it.
Wow. So how long did it take you?
Well,
I have no idea what's good or bad, so I'm not going to judge you.
Yeah. Well, we went to base camp first to get our calorie intake.
Yeah.
And then we hiked up about 8.9 miles, I believe that's what it is, to trail campground. And then the final, I believe, I can't remember what the final is, but I think the total is about 24 miles.
Wow.
And I think it took us, let's see, it was 5 the first day to trail campground. And then we finished at 6:37. I would say about 15, 16 hours.
Yeah. Wow.
Total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is intense. I am, maybe as pilots, we like having these little goals and
yes,
things to do. And that sounds appealing to me. And I know some people that have done some pretty major climbs like Everest and Mount Rainier. And I thought I would love to do that. I think what I don't want and what I wouldn't love is all the training beforehand.
Yes, am I supposed to train? We didn't train. Our training was eating a burger the night before.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good. So did you actually camp overnight on the trail?
We did because it was really cold, and we had about 50 to 60 knot winds gusting. And so there was a huge sandstorm. We were covered in sand. We woke up, and when we moved, it's like, those movies where people, we got up and sand just piled in the tent. It was pretty insane, but definitely a good experience.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Congratulations. That's cool.
And how about you? We do love adventure.
I do. Yeah. I had been, and you're speaking of dust, that I've read some stories about the Dust Bowl, and how that whole thing we created on ourselves. We put it on ourselves, but we actually took a long road trip from Ohio. We got all the way to Wyoming and did kind of a loop, went through Iowa, South Dakota, saw the Badlands and Black Hills and Devil's Tower. And then we came back through Kansas and Nebraska, got to see Amelia Earhart's birthplace. And it was great. It was a lot of driving. We drove over 3,000 miles and 80 something hours being in the car, because everything's kind of far away from each other there,
Yes.
So
I've driven that loop. I've done all of those. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lot of cool stuff. It's just like it takes a long time to get from one place to the next.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. But I thought we would catch up because you and I have not done one of these podcasts together. And I thought it'd be cool if we just talk about kind of things we're working on or things we're getting excited about. And one of those things, of course, is Oshkosh.
Absolutely. Well, we are all going, all the hosts of Cockpits and Cocktails.
Yeah.
And we would just love everyone to come and meet up with us. Now, I am personally going to be kind of running around a little bit because I am limited to 3 days.
Yeah.
I'll be coming on Monday, hopefully in time to see the air show that night. But if people want to come around and meet, I was hoping that we could have the meet and greet, so maybe we could be able to do that. But I will be doing a meet and greet with Avemco. They're an insurance company for pilots, and that's who I use. And I believe they are a part of, I'm not sure, I think they're an extension of AOPA, but anyways, this company is really great. And if you ever do FAA Safety Wings program, they are the company that give you the wings when you complete basic, master, and advanced, those programs. So they're the ones that send you the wings, and also seaplane wings. They're such a really sweet, small company, and I love them. And then, of course, I'm excited about all of us going to Women Venture.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's where I actually met you in person. So it's like a full circle.
Yeah. 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 I'm looking forward to it. I don't get in until Tuesday. I was hoping to be able to go all week, but conflicting schedules with kids and family and stuff. And I needed to wait to leave until Tuesday. And I'm not sure when Stephanie's coming. Do you remember?
I think she's going to be there Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay. So
we're all going to be there on Wednesday.
Okay. We were thinking we do a meet and greet on Wednesday. So hopefully we'll post some information about that soon. And we'd love for any of our listeners to come say hi if you have time. I know Oshkosh, usually I do a meet and greet at Sporty's. I don't know if I'm doing that this year. I really hadn't thought about it. I feel like I have limited time. But it's always been easier to try to meet people by just kind of saying where you're going to be, and then versus trying to go here and there, and then you're walking 25 miles a day.
Exactly. I'm excited to walk. I that's some workout that I usually don't have the opportunity to get.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
But
so how many times have you been to Oshkosh?
well, last year was my first time. I
Okay.
was sponsored by well, I wouldn't say sponsored. I worked for them and helped them out. My Go Flight, I had been using their products for many years and they heard about it, and so they hired me to work with them last year. And that was super exciting, and they're just an amazing little family, everyone, and we've kept in touch. And so we're going to be playing a game, my Go Flight and I, during Oshkosh called Where's Cooper?
Oh, fun.
And so if you can find me, then you might get something special. So last year we gave out one of their big flight bags.
Yeah.
They're amazing. And so who knows what you're going to get this time?
Well, that's neat. So what is that? My go.
My Go Flight.
Yeah, what is
So
that?
they're a company. They're based out of Colorado, and they make flight gear. All of the I don't know. I just suddenly blanked, but you can knee boards, flight
Okay.
bags,
Okay.
travel suitcases, but also the I don't know why I'm blanking, the for the yoke. You can put your iPads on the
Oh
yoke.
yeah, all those like attachments and things to.
Yes,
Yeah.
tons of attachments,
Mhm.
attachments that you can put your GoPro, but all of those things to make your life easier. They even have an cooling pad to keep your iPad cool during
Okay.
flight. So yeah,
Yeah.
they have all kinds of gear, and they're just always coming up with new items. They're very inventive.
Yeah. But let me just pause and say right there, this episode is not sponsored by this.
No, no.
But if they're listening and they want to sponsor, then we will be glad to talk more about their products. No, but it is good. I feel like sometimes there are certain things that pilots get accustomed to and that really like, because you try all kinds of things in the airplane
Mhm.
usually to find that perfect thing. Sometimes it's like, well, I bought this thing, but it does my window isn't
Yes,
is curved, and so the suction cup won't work. So then I do something else,
exactly.
and then when you find something, you want to tell people about it, right?
Yes.
Like,
I mean, I mainly use more of their flight, um, the flight bags and those kind of accessories.
yeah,
So that's mainly what I use them for, but they're mainly known for all of their attachments.
yeah, yeah. Well, what is your flight bag like?
Well, I happen to have all of them, but
Yeah, what's your favorite?
it's it's probably, I kind of go, it depends on what flight I do, but
Yeah,
I go between their smaller Pro and their bigger one. And the reason I love their bags is they really thought out about how you use it and what you put in it. And so when I am there, and trust me, I've tried out so many
yeah, yeah,
different bags. But there's always something missing. Oh, my transceiver doesn't fit in there, or there's not enough pockets for cords. This one has just everything. And then when I'm flying, I also, especially cross countries, which mostly that's what I do. When I'm flying, I want to be able to carry my emergency kits, but I don't want it to weigh too much. So, but they have this special area, pocket, I don't know what to call it, but a special place that I can carry all my emergency gear, and then the other section, all my flight gear, and I don't have to worry about taking it in and out and switching it out or carrying two bags.
yeah,
So I carry
yeah,
it all in one. I just love it. And then it's also great for the airport because I can slip it right onto my luggage.
yeah. Oh, that does sound nice. Well, I think it's, probably every pilot, and especially women pilots, probably try all kinds of bags because we always have we like things compartmentalized kind of, and we
Yes.
like, certain things in certain places and not just all thrown in together. So you
Yeah.
find a good bag, but it's funny because I have different bags too. Depends on if I'm flying, like in a single engine piston versus when I'm flying on the jet, then there's a different need that you have.
Exactly.
But the survival kit, it's funny because I haven't flown actually in a piston airplane in a long time, but I had a survival kit as well. What do you have in your survival kit?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I recently did a video on Instagram about it, but
Oh,
Instagram only allows you really about 8 seconds. So it was a very quick thing. But my main emergency kit is number one, I want to be able to survive about 3 days.
yeah,
And I want to be seen. Those are my two priorities, right? I want
yeah,
to be seen. I want to be able to survive several days. And so my main equipment is definitely a PLB. Uh, it's, I can't remember the brand, but it notifies within 30 minutes. And, they say, luckily, I've never had to use it. So, but they say within 30 minutes, they'll have search and rescue, because some of the other ones say, within 24 hours or
yeah,
within whatever. This
yeah,
one guarantees that the message gets to it within 30 minutes and they start sending out help.
yeah,
So that's my very important transceiver, of course. But my emergency kit, as far as safety, I carry, the kit for trauma.
yeah. Like first aid kit kind of
Mhm.
thing. Yeah,
And then there's these safety blankets. It's mine is for, so I had taken this survival course for pilots,
yeah,
and a lot of them said, a lot of pilots will carry silver, those emergency silver.
yes, right.
But the problem is sometimes they can't see that from the air. And
Oh,
so mine is actually an emergency blanket slash red slash fireproof. So
okay.
if your plane catches on fire, you have that. And then I have fire gloves in
Yeah,
case I have to, um,
yeah,
do something that's with heat. But definitely the trauma kit, fire kit, and then of course I have water,
yeah,
things like that. So,
yeah,
and food, a lot of my food is similar to camping food,
yeah.
lightweight, because that's very important, lightweight.
Right, right. I have so the PLB, for people that don't know, it stands for personal locator beacon. I think
Yes.
that's it. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a GPS device, basically, or like an ELT, portable ELT type
That's right,
device. Yeah.
portable. Mhm.
And I have very similar things in mine. I actually have mine kind of all in like a fanny pack. So, and I just kind of pick up the fanny pack and put it in my flight bag. But I did a survival class too for pilots out in Oklahoma City, the FAA. Is that where you did yours, or where did you do yours?
Mine was here in California, but I've tried to schedule, but then COVID happened. I had scheduled those survival classes in Oklahoma, and plus
Yeah.
the hyper, what's the chamber?
Oh yeah, the
Hypoxia.
yeah, hypoxia. I did that
Yeah.
as well. So that's
So,
something cool that people don't know about. They have these free
mhm.
classes at at the FAA. I mean, you have to pay for your transportation there and your hotel there, but you can. They have several classes. They have one where you
Mhm.
practice ditching, like they have a big
Yep.
pool, and you can practice that, which actually happened to be broken when I was there. They were having pool issues, so I was not able to do that, unfortunately. I think that would be a great thing to do. But we
It
also
really
practice
is.
really cold weather, and we practice
Mhm.
like really hot weather and things that you would do and need. And then we did the hyperbolic chamber where you can see kind of what it
Yeah.
feels like for the symptoms of hypoxia. You know, figure out
Mhm.
what that's going to feel like. And I thought that was really great. I would highly recommend it.
Absolutely. And I took I took the ditching and egress with Sousa, and that just, I learned so much. I highly recommend that one for sure, because you never know. I mean, you just never know if you're going to have to land in a lake or ocean or wherever.
Yeah.
But as a seaplane pilot, it's definitely recommended.
Yeah.
And then I took a little course in Alaska, how to survive in the wilderness there. So I just recommend any emergency survival training for
Yeah.
pilots. I don't think a lot of people think about that.
That's true. And, there's a lot of forced landings that they're survivable, they are survivable, but you don't know where that's going to be. So if you,
Exactly.
if you land somewhere and there's like no one around, then you need to know how to function and survive in that environment, wherever it may be, make it to safety or stay alive till they can find you. Right.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but my husband and I, we have a whitewater rafting company, and we always tell people when we take them on trips, this is a save yourself environment, and people need to think that way in an aircraft. That if something happens, you have to be able to save yourself. You
Yeah.
really need those skills.
Very good. Well, that was probably an unexpected conversation, but I think great. Yeah, I think it'd be cool if we, you and I and Stephanie, this is just occurring to me, we did some kind of video on what's in our flight bags and
I would
talk
love
about
that.
what we like about our flight bags, what we would like to see in flight bags, or things that we find really useful. I think it'd be cool to do something like that. Totally off the subject, but
I love it, because for me, I'm pretty rough, and mine, it just lasts. I still don't have any rips. It's just such good quality, and it looks pretty. That's the other thing. Some of them are, and there's nothing wrong with it, but some of them are very masculine.
yeah.
And this one, I feel like it can be either way, and it's beautiful. It looks good. It's durable.
Yeah.
And it serves everything that I need.
Yeah. Well, I use a flight gear bag because, with sporties, I have a Fly Girl flight gear bag that I use when I'm flying the piston airplanes. I don't really need as much stuff when I'm flying in the jet, but I think they're really durable too. But for women, I feel like we want something other than a black bag that's going to look like everybody else's.
Yeah.
I want to know which one's mine and identify it quickly. And
if someone could make a rhinestone encrusted one.
Yes, right. Give us some fun colors and things like that. I think that'd be great. I know Stephanie's talked about trying to get a bright pink one made, but it's not that easy because I've actually looked into it as well. It's not easy to have something like that made. A company can make it for you, but you're going to have to order a certain number of these bags in order for them to, change a whole system of what they're making. People think it's real easy well, why can't you just make a pink bag? Well, people are just not going to invest. Companies are not going to invest in a product like that unless they can guarantee they're going to sell a certain amount of these bags. So it's if anyone wants to embark on that and wants to create a pink or something really cool, then I'll be supportive of that. It's just not super easy to do.
Yeah.
So Oshkosh is coming up, and of course I'm looking forward to it. What is your favorite thing about Oshkosh? What do you have to see when you're there?
Well, last year I was pretty busy working, and then I had just gotten started on, I got started on social media during COVID. And so last year my purpose was to grow my audience. But this year, I'm really looking forward to spending more time with the people there at Oshkosh, and meeting, not necessarily networking, just meeting other pilots. And I have some really fun things scheduled. If everything works out, I'll be going on a couple of flights.
Yeah.
And then I am interviewing a couple of people. And so that's really what I am interested in going. It's more for, the air shows are great, but I really love just being in that community. And it feels like I'm there with family, even though I don't know them. I'm just meeting them. But for me, last year, it just felt like, oh my goodness, I am in this whole group of other people who like the same things that I do. And I learned so much too.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you usually try to make it to like any kind of sessions, or are there certain areas that you like? I love to go see the warbird airplanes. Are there certain like vintage or anything like that you favor?
I'm actually, I know this is kind of weird, but I'm actually interested in going to those workshops where like the wood and I think it was laminating.
Yeah.
I'm probably never going to build my own airplane, but I am interested in how it all works and I like getting my hands dirty and trying out new things.
Yeah. I think that's wonderful. That's not something that I would want to do, but I think it's cool. Obviously, there's a lot of people that want to do it. There's a need to have those classes. People are going to them, right? Or they wouldn't have them.
Exactly.
So I think
mostly men,
awesome.
Mostly men though.
Yeah, well, that's okay. It's, every once in a while I'll meet, like a female AMP or a student that's working on her AMP, and I think that's so cool to be able to want to know how to put things together and know how things work. I think is a great skill to have, definitely.
If I wasn't working on my ratings, I would love to go at least just get my MP just for the experience to know, like we were talking about, if there's an emergency and I need to fix the plane.
Yeah, I agree. I would too. I think it's a pretty lengthy process though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of money too.
Yeah. Yeah. So why don't you get yours and then you can teach me?
I think I'll try to go make friends with one. Anybody, if you want to meet me and come teach me, I'll be at Oshkosh.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yes. Well, I always like to see the warbirds. Like I said, I really enjoy watching the military jets. Like the F-35s or things like that. I just think they're so fast and loud.
Yes.
And I love it when everything just kind of shakes when they fly by.
I know. I wish we could get a flight on there. I tried last year. They just laughed at me and smiled and said, "Oh, so cute." No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not gonna happen. Yeah. I know. Hopefully we'll figure out kind of what Stephanie's really looking forward to, and we can share that as well. I know you two have been able to do a few of the episodes without me because I was traveling. I'm glad that you were able to get together and you talked to some cool people, and I'm looking forward to being on. I'm excited to see Stephanie and you at Oshkosh. I think it's going to be fun for everyone. I don't know if Stephanie's actually been to Oshkosh before. I don't know if she has. Do you know?
I think she has.
Okay. I couldn't remember. Okay, cool. I know we're all going to be busy, but hopefully we can, get together and just have a little bit of fun and, of course, meet some new people and maybe some new show guests. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes. If you're interested, please just reach out to one of us.
Yes, of course. Everyone has a story to tell, so we like to tell it to everyone.
What I would like to do, though, is because I can make some really awesome cocktails. I would love to do a get together with you girls and do video podcasts so we can, just have fun and I can show off my cocktails. I don't drink, but
we should try to make that happen. Plan something.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah.
And maybe a meet and greet for everyone to, come talk to us. That could still happen at Oshkosh, maybe.
Yeah. We need to figure that out. Great to hear from you, and I'm glad we could make this work in between all our vacations and summer craziness. And we will see you in like a month. Well, thanks, Cooper. We will see you soon, and thank you to everyone that listened. Make sure you subscribe to Cockpits and Cocktails. We have some great guests and episodes coming up. Cheers.
Cheers.